Hey, in this video I'm going to show you how to use Node Mailer. Now this video was requested by someone and I'm putting it together. I've never actually personally used it. I have an article on how to send emails with SendGrid. I also have a video on it. I'll include them both in the description below. So we're going to kind of check this out. I don't know what to expect. I have never actually completely done this. So please just bear with me as I do it. I think I'll cut out anything that isn't super useful. So let's dive into it. Right before that, I should probably mention that last week I came out with a video saying what should I do for 2018. This video here, YouTube doesn't allow me to do annotations anymore. It's actually down in the description as well. And in this video I kind of asked what you'd like to see for the upcoming year. The reason why this is kind of important to me is so I know what to make. It's how I find useful content that people actually enjoy. And so if you have any videos you'd like to see, check that out. Put in the comments down below on that video. I mean, you can probably put it in this comment as well. And I'll try to at least get to all the comments there. I put a lot myself, actually, to be brutally honest, but we'll see. And so with that, let's get into this. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. So I'm going to actually use, I just looked up nodemailer.com and I started looking through the documentation a little bit. So this is the configurations for messages. And to send a message, here's the usage. You use a transporter. So you use the Node Mailer library. You create a transporter, and you want to send. You want to send via this here. So we're going to use a SMTP, and I looked up that you have to use essentially your authentication here. Now what we're going to do is actually go to github/easyapi. And on Easy API, there is this near boilerplate code. I'll include it down in the description. I have used it in other videos. It's just, I know it's Node code that works. It contains some other stuff as well. Download it or clone it, and you're going to need a actual terminal. Switch over my desktop. Git clone. Switch into it. Do an npm install, and that's going to take some time. So as that happens, I'm going to open it up in Atom. Okay, so I've now opened this. Now that this is open, it actually took a really long time, and my npm is installed. What I'm going to do here is I actually need the Node Mailer library, and so you can find information about it on the Node Mailer website here. And we're going to copy this one line here and do a Node Mailer install. And then the only other thing is, just for this example, we're going to have to use changes to say config.js, which then gets ignored. We don't have to change anything in the client side, and in this API we have a whole bunch of things written it's essentially your starting point. We can actually just remove them all because we're just going to use a single post request that is right here, and we can continue to remove everything here. Remove. And so with this will just essentially run start dev. And so you have to understand that this will it's going to return done. Like, we don't want anything. We just want to see that this entire thing is properly set up. We have everything installed, and then we'll actually dive into setting up the Node Mailer. Compiled successfully. So this is sitting on port 2018. Okay, so we have it's loaded, it's there. I don't actually know about this endpoint specifically, but I can tell you based on the code that I'm looking at, it works. I'm trying not to jump around too much. Okay, so now I'm looking at the SMTP transport. This is from the usage. I get to here, and this is making your first connection amongst from the Node.js library. You need to create this. So back up in usage. I need to copy this line. It doesn't actually show when I'm really highlighting it, but I'm going to copy this line and paste it in here. And I'm going to switch back over. Send email. Transport is going to be the object that's able to send mail. Transport is a configuration object. Okay, so that's what we have to figure out. Okay, and then I clicked here. It's the configuration object. And so we'll see an example of how to create this object. Hopefully it has one. Okay, so create a single connection. Okay. You can also do authentication. And I'm assuming that this config so options, this config goes into the options. So we have, let me just look at that again. We have create transporter, which is this here. I think this is a typo, but it doesn't matter. We don't actually have any defaults, so we'll just pass in null. Actually, yeah, we'll pass in null because I can't actually confirm that it's a blank object, and then we're going to create options, which is going to be, I'm just on the nodemail.com/smtp, and I'm going to try the single 465, create connection for every single message. We'll try this one. So jumping back over. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a comma in here, and then I'm going to say email, and then I'm going to type in my email, and then I'm going to type in my password, and then I'll import the two of them in messages. So I'm going to do config, and then I'm going to grab my config file, which is back3, and /config/config. And then I got the username and password here. Start by commenting this all out. Okay, and so actually, this won't. I actually recommend using a like a Postman or a REST client, but the front end is actually hooked up to the back end. The post on the button on the front end will fire off a post request, and we just have to change one thing to get that post request. Start by removing this. This is going to be the response, and we don't have a message, so this is going to be empty. So on click, it will quote unquote send new message. And it'll fire off. Okay, so that all works. Now let's just jump to our actual application. Just living at port 2018. And it won't be running right now because I've changed the backend. Every time you change the backend, I'm just verifying my credentials are actually coming through. Now I recommend you doing the same. I probably won't show you the actual results of this test because I really don't want to show you my password to my email. So I'm loading it here. Hit send. Okay, sorry. Now you can see my screen again. Yeah, I can't scroll back up. Okay, so my password and email did come through, so this does work, and so now I'm gonna uncomment all of this. I don't want to keep showing you those two things. So this is gonna be config.email, config.password, and options are gonna go into there, and then we have to get the actual SMTP address for Gmail, which they tell you is on SMTP G Suite. Oh, okay. So yeah, we want the G Suite SMTP, and then so this is gonna go to. I'm gonna be doing a lot of flipping here, and then we gotta pick up our port. 465 is there, so we're okay with that port. I mean, I think that's good. I mean, what I'm going to do is here just print out the transporter object. Hopefully it's going to return something or show something. And we're going to do an npm run start. 500 internal error. Node miller is not defined. Yes. Sorry, I'm jumping around a lot here. Npm install node miller. I think it literally the first. Here, constant record. This is just the first page. That was just like the intro page. It gives you this node mailer required, tells you how to, and we'll clear this and then run it again. Hopefully this works. It won't send a message. I just want to see that the transporter. I just want to see what this object is. I don't even know what it is. I'm gonna hit send. Okay, we're getting a response now. Okay, so I just realized that I can't scroll because I have a password there. So be careful if you're actually doing a console log on this. And it looks like it worked. I mean, closed is not set to false, so I'm going to do a Command K here. And with that, we'll actually send a message just to see if it goes through. I mean, it's going to be me emailing myself. So this is the message object. So I'm really trying not to jump around too much. I realize I do it a lot. So this is on the usage page. You have this transfer.sendMail. This is the callback. It gives you a whole bunch of information here. So you either can get an error or info, and then it gives you a whole bunch of information about the thing. So I'm gonna do this. So this is gonna be the callback. So data will be our message, but first we're going to handle the callback, and they tell me it's going to be error or info. All I'm going to do is print it out. I don't care about actually showing the user a proper message. I'm just going to display error, and then I'm going to display info, and I'm going to stop displaying the transporter because it has my password in there. Data is defines the mail content. Visit this page, which is actually this page here. I copy this, which is sending an email. And so I'm going to make this my email to my email. And make data message, and I'm going to run that again. And while that sets up, I'm going to open up my email. Okay, so I'm now running. So I hit send. It took a second to go through. Invalid login, username and password not accepted. At this point, I just found this Stack Overflow post. It tells me that this will work. So what I'm going to do is comment this out, comment this in. If this doesn't work for my G Suite, I'm going to switch to my personal one, except my personal one has lots of security, so unfortunately it's going to be a pain taking off all that. Make sure you go to security and turn on less secure apps. Okay, I'll make sure this has happened. So I have to go to Google just because it defaults to my personal account. And I'm going to open this up. Okay, I think I've handled this. I think this is fine. Now we're going to try to actually send this. Refresh this page. I've now switched my own personal account. I've flipped this allow less secure apps. I'm actually going to change the email. Okay, my camera's gonna die soon. I've changed the email. Changed it to be Keith. Okay, I've changed the email. I'm also going to change this to say to be my personal email. And then I'm going to say, okay, let's try compiling that again. Hopefully this works. I did a whole bunch of things to my public facing email, and it didn't seem to work. So oh, boom. So it has a message ID, it has my email that I'm going to hide right here, and I'm going to turn around. It has accepted. You saw the response there. Jump over to my email here, and as you can see, I'm hiding my email, but it has the message as well. Wow, that was a lot easier. I'm going to cut out a whole bunch of stuff. If you are watching this and it doesn't make any sense why I'm talking about my other email, I originally started to use my G Suite email. It didn't work out because of a whole bunch of permissions things. So what I did was I switched my personal one. I turned off two-factor authentication. I flipped on allow less secure apps, and then it worked. And all I had to do was write this code here. So worked great. Didn't actually have to use the options here. So thank you to this Stack Overflower. I'll include his post, I'll upvote it, and I'll include it in the description below. If you like this video, please subscribe, please give it a thumbs up, and please go check out my video from last week and give me, if you want to know about anything, so if you want to see any tutorials, just put a comment in that video. Thanks for watching. As you can see in my channel art, I have Electron series. Episode 2 is now live. I started making this Electron series, and then I built an app. It took me like an hour and a half to build it, not using any React or anything like that. Anyways, I didn't realize how the size of the app, videos got all sorted. I eventually gave up on the series. I'm actually rebooting the series. It's going to go live this Friday, so subscribe, check it out. It's building desktop apps.